SPF 2021 Worlds. I still don't know what ISPF is. That's supposed to be international
Southern Powerlifting Federation.
That might be the biggest fucking joke I've ever heard in my life.
All 2 people in Europe that participate in SPF. There's only about 3 that compete in the regular SPF.
I mean, they had a pretty good show out at a few of their meets recently, so. But, yeah.
I mean, we're still talking about 10 to 20 where we're used to 20 to 100.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy talking about Battle
It's
of
a
the Bay.
relief when there's only 20 now.
Yeah.
Now, you know?
Oh, Battle of the Bay being canceled is kind of crazy, though. That's very abnormal.
Is it?
Well, it's abnormal for Battle of the Bay to not have a big showing. We'll say that.
Is Battle of the Bay normally a big meet?
Austin said last time he competed, there was like 80 people there.
I think Austin's competed in Battle of the Bay before.
He either said he competed at it, or he would usually see 80 people sign up for it, or something like that.
I think it was
maybe he's thinking of.
Yeah, I think he's thinking of another meet. He's confused.
Is Battle of the Bay what Queens of the Beach used to be?
No.
Okay, maybe that's what he's thinking, because Queens of the Beach was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's in Orange Beach. It's still It still happens.
Yeah.
And they have Kings of the Beach now.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, I know they wanted to add that in. They combine it all together, though. It's not just.
Yeah, it's just a 2-day event. Yep.
Oh, it's a 2-day event? I thought it was just all mixed together.
It might be. Last time I was down there for the state championship.
I'm talking about
regionals, rather, with Lance.
Oh, yeah. They changed it up that year. I guess they're still doing it this year. I don't know. Powerlifting right now is kind of a back burner thought for me, which is interesting to say out loud, but it really is.
Well, it's not supposed to be our lives.
No, it's.
I mean, it was pretty well literally mine because it's my living, but
right.
It's not supposed to be.
It's just not like, the first several years when I was doing powerlifting. It was like, I gotta get better. And now I'm just kind of like, I actually just want to lose some weight and feel a little better and look a little better, and then we'll get stronger later. Still not like quitting powerlifting, but like it's just not at the forefront of my gym.
Been a busy man.
Right now. I'm fucking busy. This is the point where I have to explain to everyone in the show before the show why we haven't had an episode, or at least we've been very sporadic. Because I've been busy. I've had so many damn projects pop up, like the door, the yard. The yard has been the biggest problem I've had.
It's the rain this year.
The rain. I mean, I don't even remember if I told you that I had to dig up my septic tank.
No, I didn't think you told me that.
Yeah, so I was in my backyard and there was a hole. It was like a perfect rectangle, and I was like, "What the fuck is this hole?" And I look down and I see water, and I'm like, "Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me." So I start, like, I dropped a rock, which is not a good thing. I dropped a rock in it, and it went thump, and then I saw it, and I was like, that's my septic tank. Like, why the fuck is my septic tank open? So I had to dig all around it, basically excavate the top of it. And then I saw where either they had not closed the lid on it all the way, because it's a concrete block. It's an old school septic system. So either they didn't pull it back all the way to secure it, or somehow the ground may have caused it to shift and push it open. I don't know what happened. All I know is I saw that and I was like, fuck. So I dug it up, and I had to go to Walmart like 5 times because I had to keep getting stuff for this project. And finally I got it pulled over. I had to buy a pry bar because it's too heavy to pull and I couldn't get any leverage on it. And even with the pry bar, I couldn't get it perfectly seated because somehow it just wasn't seating right. But I got it as far closed off as I could, and there's like just a hair like space. And I'm like, maybe there will just be enough dirt that compacts that it won't just completely sink into there and completely fill my septic tank. But that's why I've been having so many plumbing issues when it rains hard, because it just fills up with the rainwater. It's like,
well. We have a similar issue at the gym right now. Fucking field lines and
yeah, if you're filled
shit like that. Supposedly it's got fixed today, but we'll see.
That's good. Yeah, I remember the toilets were out for a little while, so I was like, that's weird. Normally I have to take a pre-workout shit, but when I saw that, I was like, well, I need to make sure next time I come in here that I don't need to. Trying to think of all the other shit that happened. The door got fucked up. I built that table today or last night from 12 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. That coffee table. You probably didn't even notice it because it looks very similar, but it's completely different.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, it's just a black table. It looks exactly the same if you don't look at it. Like if you're just like peripherals, it looks exactly the same. But it's got like one of those, I don't know what to call it, but it's basically like a tray that comes out and then it's
cool.
Storage inside of it and stuff. And
that's what we have. Like you can fold it up to eat and everything. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's nice to have. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass, and it was cheaply made, which sucks because it's like, I don't know what they're called, but they're those little circular.
Yeah, that lock it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They kept breaking.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So
was it IKEA?
No, it was some brand I bought from Target. Like it was
IKEA. I know. Obviously, you've seen the memes, but they might as well just send you a solid hunk of wood until you whittle it yourself. It's like, this is like literally if I had any carpentry skills whatsoever, I could buy the lumber and put it together way fucking faster.
Right. Honestly, I could probably just get my dad to do it because he loves doing that shit. But
I mean, it's all like basic math. I don't know really what keeps me from applying myself in those areas of manhood. But
it's kind of just, I was going to say, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yep.
I mean, honestly.
And you gotta sand it and stain it. That's the part that's miserable. I don't really mind the idea of putting it together.
If you've got an electric sander, it's not too bad, but it still takes a while.
I've refinished furniture a couple times before thinking it was
just going to be
something
like,
I wanted. It's not something.
It's not that important after all. I'll actually just fucking, yeah. And then the yard becoming like having to mow the yard.
Goddamn jungle.
My neighbor's yard is a fucking jungle. They will not mow their yard. I don't know what's wrong with them. I hate these new neighbors. I hope they listen. They probably don't. They're not powerlifters. They're very obviously not powerlifters.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trading programming for my yard getting mowed.
Yeah.
I can't fucking find time to do it if I wanted to.
It's tough.
I can't even get my laundry folded.
Right.
So
meal prep. So much to do in a day. In a week, in a weekend.
Meal prep I've given up on, not in the sense that I'm not eating at home, but like I buy things and that's the reason I lean so much on fat-free dairy, is I can just dump cottage cheese and granola in a bowl and
just take it.
Yeah, or eat it at home real quick. It's still faster than sitting in a fast food line.
Right.
Like, I didn't have to prep it. It's done.
Right.
Like, macros are correct.
That's one of the things.
Arguably a little bit better than meal prep even.
Right.
Because I'm not putting sauces on it. It's all the protein, carbs, fat, and fiber I need. Like,
that's why the slow cooker and rice cooker does some work around here.
Yeah, our rice cooker does. I noticed you got a lot bigger rice cooker than I do.
Yeah, we bought that one after the second or third small one that we got broke. We had small cheap ones for a long time. I was like, I'm buying this nice one. I mean, nice, quote unquote. It was like $40 or $50, but it was like this nicer one because I'm tired of replacing them. So
I'm still using my like $20 joint, but like, it's still cooks a pretty tremendous amount of rice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it just depends on how much you need. When I bought that,
you were eating 10 cups a day.
Well, let's see, 4, 7. Some days, some days were 10.
I didn't think it was an exaggeration. I thought it was pretty spot on for the most part.
Yeah, on the heaviest rice days, I was eating 10 cups of rice a day. I'm not doing that anymore, but also Joe is not doing my program for food anymore, so my diet.
You learned enough. You gotta buy that again.
I was like, you know what? If I want to eat if I need to bulk correctly and I need to eat 10 cups of rice again, I'll do it. But I'm okay right now with my fake pasta that's not real food and my fake egg sandwiches that are not real food. And my chicken and rice once that's the only time I eat real food. And
I mean, some people are machines, and I think he definitely is.
I'm not gonna be mean, but my thought was, what a miserable life.
I think some people just
listen. He said he enjoys it. Like, go for it.
Some people just
like,
can just cut it off, dude, and just like repeat it. Nope. Sandy's like that.
I mean, I can eat
she
the
ain't
same.
Gotta have. Yeah, I'm talking about like Sandy could eat the same thing. She could eat a couple of tuna packs and an apple 6 times a day if she needed
That's
to.
gross.
Like,
mostly because I hate tuna.
Just in and out, like, no problem. I envy people that can do that.
I have to. I can.
I want variety.
I'm not so attached to variety, but I just want my food to taste good. Like, if I can find something that I like that fits my macros, I will eat it nonstop.
Yeah.
But if it is shit tasting food, like ground chicken and egg whites, I will probably want to kill myself because that's not enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, the things that are repeatable are also, for me, are also easily customizable. Like the granola and the cottage cheese, right? I can put in, if I get tired of blueberries, I can put a banana in it.
Right.
If I get tired of that, I can move to chocolate granola. I can move, you know what I mean?
The honey in there. Like
honey,
something.
Sugar-free maple syrup, something I do a lot. Like
brown sugar.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? So, like
cinnamon.
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time, the granola's got
some sort of like
cinnamon, honey, stuff like
yeah.
that in it. I've become enough of a cottage cheese fan now. I like the taste of unsweetened cottage cheese. So, like most of the time, I'm fine with just a berry and granola.
Yeah, that's fair. I only use it in my Alfredo, so I don't know if I like it or not because it's mixed with a bunch of other stuff.
You can blend it.
That's what I do.
It gets the curds out,
yep.
like to eat it too if you wanted to. But for me, that's just an extra step that I'm trying to avoid by eating it in the first place. So
yeah,
do that. Cottage cheese ranch is apparently the shit. Fat-free milk, cottage cheese, Hidden Valley Ranch packets.
I could see that.
Apparently, it's a really good dressing and it's all protein.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
That sounds
pretty doable, honestly.
Very,
I mean,
it's just a mayonnaise replacement because that's what it would be. It would be milk, mayonnaise, and
and the ranch packet.
Yeah, sour cream if you wanted it. But theoretically, you do fat-free sour cream and cottage cheese.
Yeah,
so
that wouldn't be bad.
There's hacks.
I'm not a huge. I don't eat ranch a lot though. Like,
I really like ranch on a salad. I mean, it is my preferred dressing. I'm not like that redneck that's going to put it on fucking everything you eat, you know what I mean?
You're not going to dip your chicken nuggets in ranch?
10 women a week that's like, oh, I can't live without ranch. You're fucking about to have to. Do this, and then this will, suffice until you can go back to your gallon of ranch a day. You know what I mean?
There's a lady I work with, and God bless her, but she's like the pickiest eater I've ever, like, I don't even know where to begin.
She's one of those like chicken fingers, French fries only kind of people.
Yeah, but it's like in the weirdest, pickiest things, and I wish I could remember. I thought something popped in my head, but now I can't remember what it was. But she's having to learn how to eat other things now and go to the gym, like do exercise because her doctor told her. And even though I've been telling her this for the past 6-8 months, I was like, hey, you really need to. If this is your problem, you need to do this. And it's like, oh, but I just don't want to. And I'm like, well, then you'll continue down this path and eventually die from this disease. But 100%. You know what? I don't know, man.
It's weird. I definitely discovered this weekend that it's not a discovery. It's just reconfirmed that once I'm on a good path, I have to stay on it because it takes exactly one meal for me to just go all the way off the rails.
See,
it's a real. At that point, it is really a real addiction because I can't just fuck up and have pizza for a meal because then I'm fucking up the whole weekend.
Right. It's just like, but this tastes really good.
Once I'm in a groove, and it was it was honest enough. Like Friday night, we didn't want to cook anything.
Yeah.
We ordered. Friday night turns into Saturday. Ate pretty good for the most part Saturday. Even ate good for dinner Saturday. We're sitting around the living room. I got a little stoned. And we're like, we should order some ice cream. Like, fuck yeah. And I'm not a man that's going to order. If you're eating a Blizzard, I'm not eating a goddamn mini.
Right.
I got a large.
Yeah. I get that.
Fucking Reese's Blizzard extra peanut butter. Fucking thick.
Bro,
thick,
I mean, I bet it was legit, though.
I mean, it was great. And then I had Mexican food with my best friend today.
Yeah.
And, Didn't do bad there, but I had a couple margaritas.
Right.
So, but once that skid starts, it's.
No, I feel you, because when I started maintenance, I had my cheat day, whatever. I was kind of like, oh man, this food's really good. And then like I would just like every weekend I'd be like, no, I can add this. And this weekend I can add this. This sounds really good. And I've been doing that the past few weekends. Unfortunately, I'm cognizant enough that my weight is only fluctuating a few pounds up and down.
Yep.
I'm still staying. I think I'm staying about 232, which I think my lowest was 229 when I got off my cut. It was either 229 or 227. I don't remember, but
yep.
So I'm not outside of the range that my diet app is saying, hey, you need to cut back, or hey, you're too heavy. It's just kind of like, yeah, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. I'm like, okay, I'll keep eating cinnamon rolls. That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I did see the Reese's cinnamon rolls you made. How was that?
Disappointing for me.
Do you not like the cinnamon peanut butter combo? That's
It's not cinnamon. It's chocolate.
It was chocolate in the cinnamon rolls.
I did
in the rolls.
Yeah, so it was like chocolate in the center and then a peanut butter frosting, and I should have reversed that and done peanut butter in the center and
peanut butter honey buns, man, honey glaze and like cinnamon, honey, and peanut butter together.
Oh yeah, no,
fucking truth.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board with that. This was just like something I was thinking about because I had made. This is like the third time, because I figured out how to make yeast rolls, and I was like, I need to keep making these because this is cool. So the first thing I made was chocolate chip cookie rolls, which was the chocolate center, which I did again this time, and then cookie dough, and rolled it thin, rolled it up, cut it up, so it was a cookie inside of a chocolate sweet roll with the cream cheese frosting, and it was fucking bomb, like legit. Like I was blown away. And then I made cinnamon rolls, just regular basic cinnamon rolls, and I was like, oh, these are really good too. And it's like,
there's nothing wrong with a cinnamon roll.
No, just a plain cinnamon roll. I mean, cream cheese frosting.
I don't understand how basic things like that just aren't good enough for some people. Like cinnamon rolls are fucking perfect.
Like anyway. No, they're legit. Like, and the my only complaint was like when I made them, I didn't feel like they didn't hit the sweet tooth as much but it's probably a good thing. There's just less sugar in it. But I was like, man, this just isn't quite as boom as the other ones did. I was like, what if I did this? And I thought about the chocolate peanut butter, and I did it, and it's just too much peanut butter. That's all. Fair. It's just if it had been reversed, it'd probably be really good.
What about a peanut butter chip next time instead of?
I did that.
Butter? You did that?
I did the cocoa mixture in the middle, and then peanut butter chips inside of it, and then the peanut butter frosting.
Yeah, I wonder if you got by with just the
peanut butter chips,
or
and
even
then
just like
cream
a drizzle.
cheese frosting.
You know what I mean? Because I saw it. It was like.
Oh, it was peanut butter frosting. Like,
okay.
It was peanut butter mixed in with the powdered sugar and the butter and whatever the hell else, vanilla.
Yep.
There's just too much peanut butter.
Fucking big back shit for real. We're talking about right now. You know what though? Like my favorite big back shit isn't even stuff that's that out of pocket. Like I want as much ribeye as I can physically eat, and like mashed potatoes. And like my go-to vegetable right now is air fried snow peas because I like Asian food a lot. So like snow peas are just the texture of them. They get a little crunchy, get a little burnt. Favorite vegetable, or like broccoli or something like that. But like that's like mashed potatoes, more ribeye than any human should be able to stomach. And one type of green. Favorite dinner. Like
no, I mean that's great. Like that's
favorite dinner. Like I mean by far
can never go wrong with that.
The sweets though, there's like. That's just a hole to go down that like
I go down it every day when I open Instagram.
They only come in good and better. That's the only way they.
No, I haven't really made something that was just bad. I mean, anything with sugar in it is
enough. Sugar and butter fixes a lot of shit. Dude, it really does.
Think about this. My half sister would do sugar biscuits, and it's literally just a biscuit. You open it up, put butter and sugar in it, throw it back in the oven for like 5 minutes or whatever.
Oh yeah,
just fucking makes a way better biscuit.
Yeah,
it's a dessert biscuit,
delicious.
But, I don't know.
Biscuits and honey and butter. You get whipped honey? You ever done spun honey or whipped honey? Oh man,
I mean, the Texas Roadhouse butter, the cinnamon.
Yeah,
that's the shit.
That's not my favorite steak though.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it's not bad, but it's not like I go there for the butter.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Go for the butter and the rolls.
I've said this before on the podcast, but I am 100% convinced that with the exception of very, very few places, I can do a better steak.
Yeah. I mean, if you put in the effort, like, easily.
Steaks, a good steak's incredibly low effort.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, even if you do the travesty that you do in wet marinade, it's incredibly
I don't always.
But
I do most of the time.
Do reverse sear
Mm-hmm.
all my dry stuff on it first, reverse sear, and then
finished off on the
grill. Yep. Still prefer, I know, not saying people, the likes of Gordon Ramsay and people like that are wrong, but I don't like it overly greasy, so I still don't like the pan sear and butter bath.
That's what I did this
I
past
like the dollop of butter on top when it comes off the grill, but the butter bath's just a little extreme.
Yeah.
And also it doesn't, I want to be a fat ass and eat a couple of steaks. It's so heavy when you do that. Like,
yeah.
I'm not eating more than the one.
I mean, you're eating like a couple tablespoons of butter like per steak. So it's just like.
Yeah. And I really prefer, when my steak comes off the grill, I really prefer ghee to regular butter. It's a stronger flavor.
Okay. I haven't had it before.
It's very good. Definitely something I would try before I put it on a $20 ribeye.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a little, it's clarified butter, but it's also like anything in the dairy realm. It's also much stronger flavored than regular butter. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost a little, I wouldn't say sour, but it tastes a little bit more spoiled than regular butter does.
I was going to say, kind of like blue cheese, like just that kind of strong, like.
Not really like that, but like, it's the difference between like regular yogurt and Greek yogurt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just like
it's just stronger. I don't know what to tell you.
Stronger flavor. I get that.
But it's room temperature and melts easier.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. So you don't have to sit and wait for your steak to sit quite as long.
Right.
Yep. Because it's like coconut oil. No, it's solid.
Yeah.
You know, but it thins out really quickly and easily. It's really easy to mix with things like that because as soon as you put it on the steak, it's liquid.
Right. It's just like
easy. It's like spun honey versus regular honey. Almost. Yeah. Like it's just easier to spread. Everything about it's a little easier and it is much stronger flavored. So
interesting. I'd give it a shot. Then again, I tried just about anything.
Ghee is great, but like I said, super, super pungent compared to regular butter. So,
I mean, I tried the Cheez-It pizza from Pizza Hut, so you know I'm pretty willing to try anything. Oh, it's not good.
Pizza Hut was elite when they did the crust toppers.
Yeah, but then Marco's did it better.
Papa John's does it better than them.
Papa John's does pizza better than
it's the best fast food pizza.
Yeah,
hands down, the best fast food pizza. Domino's quit cutting their deals, so Domino's is now just as expensive as Papa John's. So like,
why would you buy Domino's?
The appeal of Domino's was that you could eat
cheap and
high volume.
Yeah,
for cheap.
It was the same thing with Taco Bell though. Like that was the biggest appeal. I mean, Taco Bell still tastes good, but like, and now everything's so expensive. Like
Taco Bell is like one of the most expensive fast food places to eat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it used to be like you could get half their fucking menu for like $20.
Yeah, now it's like $20 for one thing on their menu.
Yeah, I like the cheesy gordita crunch.
Yeah,
it's the gordita wrapper and the hard shell taco with the cheese on the outside, and it's got like the Baja sauce or whatever and everything in the middle of it. Those things used to be like $1.50 a piece, and they're like $4 a piece now. I can eat fucking 8 of those.
Right?
Like, you know, I don't. You can't eat at Taco Bell cheap anymore.
No, even
like it's actually done. It's really been really good for my health because I can't feed myself McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A. It's going to be $20 just for me, if not more, depending on what I order.
Right.
So like, it's pretty. I mean,
why wouldn't you just buy a steak?
Yeah.
Like,
at that point,
honestly,
a pound of ribeye, even expensive, is $24.99.
Yeah.
Like,
I always say this, like Cracker Barrel is like $7-8 a plate.
Yeah, surprisingly still cheap.
And that's
they got that carry out menu that's like $5 and $6 a meal. It's just an entree and a side. It's not like an exorbitant amount of food.
But for $6,
like, I could eat fucking 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You get 2 proteins and 2 sides, and you're good. I always I think it's like $12. They're grilled chicken tenderloins with 3 sides.
I think I just got our episode topic.
Oh yeah,
meal prep packs.
Yeah,
fast food stuff like that. Yeah,
we could. I was thinking we probably should have talked about this. I was thinking we would just recap everything that we missed the past.
Yeah, we can do that
few
too.
weeks.
I think we probably won't have. We did a lot of show before the show.
We have a lot of,
but neither one of them are going to run real long, so we can probably cover both.
No.
So to start the show, it's the Sip It and Rip It podcast. I'm Zach. He's Nathan. You can follow us at Coleman_Barbell, at Nathan Skedios, at Sip It and Rip It. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can get podcasts, I guess. Mm-hmm. Those are the main two.
Yep.
You can watch us on YouTube, so long as the camera holds up. She's doing fine today.
Yeah, no, since I started doing photography, it stays charged.
It has to, right? Yeah. So you can watch us on YouTube, leave likes, comments, send us DMs,
the YouTube channel.
Subscribe. Yep. Rate us 5 stars or 4.
Or
3 or 2 or 1. Rate us preferably 5.
If you like the podcast, 5 stars helps it gets noticed.
If you hate it, rate it 1. If you really, really thought about your answer, 2 to 4.
Right?
We've covered this. I'm okay. I've gotten better. I'm learning to cope a little bit. Like if it had been 1, I would have been like, meh.
Right. It's just the fact that it was not a 5 or a 1.
It's literally just that. Yep.
It's like what's the reason? If you have a reason,
I appreciate that person. I would have just liked to have had some
context and an answer. What did we do?
You thought about
poorly?
your answer, obviously, because you gave it 4 and not 5.
Like,
I mean, there are some people that just believe nothing's perfect. God knows we aren't.
No, yeah,
and like they're just not going to give a perfect, a perfect score to something. That's fine.
That reminds me of, I don't know if I said this as a joke before or what, but there was someone left a review on a doctor. Said, saved my life. He was great. Like, literally did the procedure. Everything was flawless. 4 stars. and the doctor replies, like, I wonder what I needed to do to get the 5th star. I was just like, man, if a surgeon saved my life, I'd be giving him a 5-star rating. Like, shit.
Clearly that wasn't done at the CRMC.
No, probably not.
No fault of the nurses.
Although their clientele probably would rate 4 stars, no matter, like, even if it was perfect service. Like,
I feel like 4 stars sums up Coleman pretty well.
4 might be high.
4 might be high if we're rating it. But like, Coleman people really do believe that Coleman is like
great.
Beverly Hills. Yep.
It's a small town with not a lot in it. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I feel really, really bad for small business owners in this town because because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, we keep ushering more and more and more like franchise modeled stuff in, like bullshit in. And like smaller businesses are dropping by the wayside, but we don't have the support. We don't have the people to support both.
Right. Like
a big city, you can go open a small business and do well, but there's a demographic that supports,
right.
Both things. Mm-hmm. Like you're going to have people that go and eat at Applebee's, but you're also going to have people that want
like
a home cooked meal. From Coleman's not big enough to support both those things yet.
Yeah, I don't know that it ever will be that big. I mean, I know it's growing, but like, I don't know. I just look at Huntsville and how massive it has exploded in the past 4 or 5 years, and I'm just like, I don't see Coleman doing that.
Well, Coleman's growth is directly because of Birmingham and Huntsville's
right. Because we're directly in the middle.
It's the cheaper place to live.
Yeah.
Half of everyone we know work in one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, truly.
If you're making a reasonable
I have people in the gym, like couples in the gym. One works in Birmingham, one works in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Like, and they live here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
it is.
like,
it's 30, 45 minutes to Huntsville, about an hour to Birmingham.
But it is just a little bit sad. Coming from somebody that is a small business owner in this. Like, I feel really bad for Triad Martial Arts right now with Gracie Barra moving into town.
I don't know who
that is Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and all their advertising, all the local advertising and all the local newspapers are like, this is one of the best places to train in all the world. It's a franchise model place.
Right.
And like, we literally have like the elite of the elite in fighting. Like,
the
O'Briens train the best in the world for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And they're right here in our backyard and have been for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And like all these places, all these local news outlets are like sucking Gracie Barra's dick so hard. And we're like, man, we literally already had the best here in town. Like, I feel bad. It'd be the equivalent of like fucking Orange Theory or something moving into town and affecting me. Like, like it's not a custom experience. It's not like it's not the same thing, but okay.
Do people like Orange Theory?
It's all machine and class based, if you didn't know.
Okay.
Like, and there's like, they got heart rate monitors and shit, and like,
so
it's all like HIIT training.
So it's like
Soccer Mom. It's even more Soccer Mom than CrossFit.
Yeah. That's exactly where I was going. I was going to use a different term, but yeah.
Where like CrossFit's predominantly like compound movements, this is going to be like
just machines,
bikes, rowers, treadmills, shit like that. So no, not a whole lot of free weights. If they do, it's probably dumbbells, but like, but it's just like this pop up, franchise in a box.
I saw there was one in like Florida or something when I was looking for a gym to train at, and I was like,
you would not have been welcome.
No. I looked at some pictures. I was like, there's no barbells or squat racks. I don't know.
It's all class based.
Yeah. And so I just moved on.
We have a local business now that's doing something similar in Evolve Fitness.
I know
that hasn't affected my business at all because class-based stuff's kind of clown shit, but it's a really good idea for this town.
Right.
We also have one of those bungee fitness classes now, which is curious.
Yeah. Well, if it gets people moving, that's all I'll say.
Moving.
Fun fact, calling back a little bit. Is it Daniel O'Brien?
Yeah.
I met him like 12 years ago at a Magic event.
Yeah, he's a real big nerd. I didn't know him he used to come to concerts and stuff locally. Yeah. But, he was friends with Dakota Aaron, who opened the CrossFit gym that I worked at. He's friends with a lot of local musicians. He was a Holly Pond boy, I believe.
Okay.
But super, super good. Like real life ninja. He's a badass.
It was just interesting because I didn't know who he was. And then someone told me, it's like, hey, that guy's, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, he could like kill you, right? And I was like, okay, like, why are you telling me this?
Does he have a reason to?
Right? And like he actually beat me because my deck was just being shitty. As at the time I was playing one that just didn't work sometimes. But anyway, and the guy who told me all that was like, "Did you like do that on purpose?" And I was like, "No, I just didn't draw anything." Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay," and I was like, why does any of this matter? I don't know. Anyway, it was just funny because that was the first time I'd ever.
Yeah, he pretty much fold anybody in the world like a lawn chair. Yeah. I mean, like really. I know he won like a major jiu-jitsu tournament blindfolded.
That's impressive.
Like a professional level event. He went and won
blindfolded. I can't imagine how. How would that make your opponent feel? Just absolutely like real life Daredevil.
Skunked, man. It's absolutely just. I got beat by a temporary blonde guy.
Damn.
Yeah, but he has a lot of that's somebody that has a lot of he has his own aura, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, he was super chill when he showed up.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I don't think he would recognize me if he saw me now, because I'm a wildly different person than I was when when he was around. But yeah, one of the best in the world. And you still have, like I said, people sucking Gracie's dick over.
Popping up.
Cool. I mean,
competition is good, but is it really competition? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think I would be mad about. I mean, there's at least one other powerlifting coach in town that I know of. It's irrelevant because we beat him regularly.
I'm trying to think of
he trains out of the aquatics, and I won't mention his name because I actually like him a whole lot. But he's been around quite a bit of meets and whatnot.
I guess I don't know, but that's okay. I don't know many people.
But I mean, I don't know about other business owners, but I don't have time to think about what my competition's doing.
Right. That's a good place to be, though.
Pricing.
Yeah.
I've recently discovered I'm probably the cheapest in Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of building a website, prices are going up, stuff like that. But I don't actively think about
their
what everybody else is doing,
what they're trying to, what their numbers are. Excuse me.
I would wonder if other people have that mindset about me.
I don't know.
If they do, I think they're focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah. I feel like if you're focused on yourself and building your own business, that's kind of like the most important thing. But I don't know. I'm not a business owner.
So. I'll be here to fix what they fuck up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Track record proves it. I was just saying. But I don't know. That's just kind of weird. Coleman, man.
Coleman's a weird place. Kind of like this weird purgatory area.
It kind of is, but like, I mean, you look back at all life decisions, and like, it's cheap to raise a family here.
Yep.
Getting less so, but
right.
It's a reasonable place to be monetarily.
Relatively safe. There's not a whole lot of crime in Coleman. There is crime, but violent crime is pretty low.
Yep.
I think you hear something every maybe a handful of months. You'll hear of a violent crime, but typically you don't hear that much. So not too bad.
No. I mean, we are close to cool things.
Yeah.
Relatively close to Birmingham and to Huntsville.
You just have to drive, and it's kind of a bummer because it's like you have to go 45 minutes, an hour out of your way to do a cool thing where everybody else just gets out of their house and goes 5 minutes down the road.
Me and Sandy kind of gave up on, when I first graduated college, we talked about moving to the coast, but it dawned on me at some point when we were having this conversation, we were getting pretty serious about it, that if you move somewhere that's important to you, like emotionally important to you, or that you're like attached to, and you go there and the only thing you do when you go to that place is have fun and it's a good time and it's relaxing. If you move there, then you bring all the shit that makes it not relaxing with you. And then all of a sudden that place isn't sacred anymore.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I stayed.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, right? Like,
no, I mean, like you're basically like, oh man, I love this place. It's great. And then you go there and you're like, life's still kind of
like
hard,
I would have to do the same thing. I would still work full time. I would still deal with traffic.
Yep. Potentially worse traffic.
Worse traffic, yeah. Like
maybe better drivers, maybe worse drivers. Just depends on where you go.
In Florida, worse drivers. You know what I mean? But like, have that conversation like, that place isn't sacred anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but you are close to some cool stuff, so
yeah. I mean,
and you're close to the beach. You can walk. But then once you see the beach every day, it's kind of like nah.
No, like versus other places. Like I had lived in Philadelphia, so if we had made the decision to live there, I was already accustomed to life there. Like it wouldn't have been like
uprooting.
The culture shock was real, but it was over. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have felt like uprooted. But like if I go to a place that's like sacred now, to live, it becomes pretty run of the mill, pretty fucking quick, right? So
feel that
it's kind of like why?
Yeah.
What'd you do in the gym this week?
Not a lot. Worked on some sumo pulling, made some progress there, made some progress on squats. Mostly just in regards to like technique and pain. Getting rid of a lot of knee pain and a lot of back pain. Starting to think I might be able to low bar squat again soon. So that's kind of interesting to see because I feel like if I can get back in a groove of low bar squatting, might see a pretty substantial increase in my squat, but that's neither here nor there yet.
Sure.
So we're kind of, I mean, I've just been on an SSB bar, but we've been practicing a low bar moving, like moving in a pattern that you would if you were low bar squatting.
A little bit more hinge.
More hinge, yep. More in the glutes. More in the posterior chain than up forward and in my quad. So I'm like, man, if we can like put this all together, I might have a real total next time I compete.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't have a real total. I mean, 1,700 is a decent total, but like something like big, like
substantial.
500 dots. I mean, we could be closing in on it next year. Like if we put everything together, but
sure.
Most like other than the technique work, it's just been some pump stuff. It's been a pretty easy couple weeks. Joe hasn't put me on anything intense yet. It's been just like get accustomed to the programming again, this, that, and the other. And I talked with him a little bit about that. I think I said something to you before the show started. I was like, hey, I need more legs, Joe. Like, there's not enough legs in my program. So we had some back and forth on that. Not like argumentative or anything, just kind of like me giving him feedback and him saying, okay, I see that. I'm going to try and implement this. And there's some things that he was not super willing to budge on that he said, let's give it another couple weeks, send me some videos, and then I'll give you some feedback and we'll see if we can figure out what's wrong there. But it was good back and forth. Good to have him again. It's been a good few weeks.
Sure. So. I mean, Preston's pretty much the majority of my programming at the moment. Some SSB good mornings, kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did squat with weight yesterday. Just a 25 on the SSB bar, so like 99 pounds.
Right.
Halses. Had a really good leg workout actually yesterday. I had lunges, single leg squats, abductors. Did some Paul's leg extensions, single leg and double leg curls, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Ended with the SSB squats because I was pre-fatigued and I knew it would keep me from
like
reaching outside of my means. You know what I mean? But really proud of I'm really honestly pretty proud of what me and Ron are doing right now. And despite not being able to squat to capacity, I feel like there's a lot of hope for the future. I feel like we're on to something in terms of things that have been missing from my programming. Mm-hmm. Things I've shied away from, I'm doing a lot of at the moment. Really, it was a really great leg pump. My legs haven't been sore in years. It hurts to stand. It's one of those hurts to stand, hurts to sit.
It just hurts.
It just hurts. It just
all
hurts
the time.
But it's a good hurt. It's a pump hurt. It's
right.
I'm not injured.
Yeah. Big difference there.
Yeah. So I mean, it's huge. Mostly, we've pretty much theorized that as much rehab, prehab, direct hip work that we've done, that maybe it's just a quad weakness and we're just going to have much, much bigger legs before we venture back into prep.
Yeah.
So, that's the plan, and I think it's going to work out for us. So, also, it almost feels like a new movement where I went from in 3 weeks of having to do this, I did assisted lunges. Basically, I was using a light, like 10-pound preloaded barbell as a crutch.
Okay.
And was doing literally as a crutch, like using it as a walking stick to do lunges with. So very assisted to bodyweight lunges last week, unassisted to doing them with 100 pounds this week. So it almost feels like a new movement in the sense that like I'm progressing it pretty rapidly. And it's making it fun because like I'm sure when I was at the CrossFit gym, because I get prescribed often, I probably had barbell lunges with 135, 155 pounds or something like that. But outside of that, an occasional Metcon with it, I've never really done super heavy walking lunges. So being able to progress something new,
it's fun.
Feels good. Yeah. So, and I haven't had a leg pump like this in a long time. So hoping to move from weighted lunges to unassisted split squats to hopefully weighted split squats for too long.
Gross.
And then hopefully, weighted Bulgarians.
Yeah.
Being the last, like, I think everybody probably agrees that's probably the hardest lunge variation, right?
I feel like it is, but
maybe foot elevated split squats, Bulgarians.
That'd be pretty tough.
Yeah. But like, we're on the right path, and if we can make it progressible, that's the biggest thing. Like, add some sizes and strength to my legs. So I mean, it's been good. Presses are easy, probably because I'm really recovered by the time it's time to press again. Floor presses were a little bit oppressive. It takes me a couple weeks to get in the groove of those. Looking back on my program, and I think the heaviest I've hit with Ron's like 365 for a single. That would be like an RPE 4 single.
Right.
On a regular press. So like floor presses are fucking hard. But I had like 275 programmed or something this week. And they were kind of tough.
Yeah.
But
also if you're doing a lot of pressing, that fatigue carry over.
For sure. Yeah. But I feel like I'm moving in a positive direction. Ready to start deadlifting again. Saturdays are open ended for me, so I kind of get to choose what I'm doing on leg day. So hopefully next Saturday, hoping to pull up to 300 or 400 pounds, depending on how I feel. And then the same thing I just mentioned, but mostly moving pretty good. What kind of PR songs you got?
Oh man, I've got like 12 in the bank. So
12 in the bank?
I've got a lot. Let's see. My phone doesn't die in the process because this phone is about to get traded in.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been dying pretty quick, and it'll be paid off next month. So
there you go. Convenient.
Yeah, convenient how they just stop working several months
before you pay
it off. Yeah, it's almost like they're designed to do that. My first entry will be When Push Comes to Shove by Carnal Decay. You know who they are?
Carnal Decay sounds familiar, but do you know how many bands there are with like Carnal, Carnage, Carna, something? Yeah.
Carne asada.
Yeah.
Fucking beef. But it's like a heavy hardcore vibe.
Cool.
Like it sounds hardcore, but like it has the same kind of like I want to say aesthetic as like the hardcore sound does, but it just sounds heavier. So like better.
Oh yeah.
Better hardcore.
I am putting a band that you like on here. We've heard the other 3 songs have been released as singles, but they had a new single come out this week called Russian Grizzly in America by Slaughter to Prevail.
Yep.
And it fucking kills. It may be the best song I've ever heard them release because, like, while I am kind of an Alex the Terrible apologist, I don't love the band.
Right.
Man, that song's fucking good.
It feels like the band is improving a lot with each song that they release. So.
They are, yeah. Russian Grizzly in America is fucking cool. The video is also kind of funny, so you should watch it.
Since you mentioned that, I actually have a note here, not to put it on the list, but to talk about it, which is I don't think I've ever done on the podcast before. But so Will Ramos and Nick Nocturnal covered Demolisher, which is a Slaughter to Prevail song.
Yep.
And while it is good, if you listen to it, it really makes you understand how much of a god Alex the Terrible is.
Because Will is also a god and can't do it.
It's just not
the same.
It's Will.
He has a much thinner voice. He can do some cool shit, but he has a much thinner voice than Alex does.
And it's just like the impact that Alex the Terrible has in that song. Like when he does vocals, it's so much just stronger and bigger. And like you said, it's just like the thickness of his voice.
This is a gateway song for me, and ironically also a cover by Nick Nocturnal. There's a little band who has an awesome bass player named Nick Shins, and he's a god. But the name of the band is Job for a Cowboy, and they used to have a song called Entombment of a Machine, and Nick Nocturnal covers it, and it fucking rips.
It's
like such a wildly dramatic improvement over the original. And like New Job for a Cowboy is extremely techy and extremely hard to play, super good. That era though, they were just kids.
Yeah, they were
making noise, and that's what it was. But they covered one of these old Job for a Cowboy songs, and it's like completely like refreshed the experience of listening to that band.
In fairness, Entombment of Machine was kind of like their better song on that EP.
Oh, for sure. That was the Doom EP. Those are probably their first real big.
They had a 3-song EP before that, didn't they?
I think so. I didn't listen to it.
I don't think
Doom is definitely the first.
It's the first big release.
Yeah, and then when you go to Genesis, they're no longer a deathcore band. They're full-fledged death metal at that point. But they're still, long-haired, dyed black hair. The bangs and skinny jeans on Doom, and Entombment of a Machine's a little bit boneheaded.
Oh yeah,
but these guys cover it and do it. That's the way it should have been from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those covers that make you feel that way. But that's my second. I actually have 3. Do you got another
one? Since you mentioned, do you remember Johnny Davies' solo project, Serpent of Gnosis?
I didn't listen to that.
It's really good. Let me try and find that one song real quick.
He had another like tech death band that whose name escapes me right now, that was fucking incredible.
Let's see. Cognitivity. Cognitivity. Say it with me. Out. Cognitivity. It's really good. There's a part, and it's just like, it's very Job for a Cowboy, like New Job for a Cowboy, but it's just like, it's really good. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm about that band. I have one that I think you're gonna like a whole lot. It's a band I don't listen to a lot of, but what I do listen to, I've already put one of their songs on. It's called Red Dot Sight by To the Grave, I think. To the Grave has a new single called Sawed Off, and it's just it's extremely boneheaded, but it is just like a fucking masterclass on deathcore.
Oh, okay.
It's just every deathcore stereotype is in it, and it's like,
hell yeah.
But it's not in a cheesy way. It's really fucking good. I mean, the name of the song is fucking Sawed Off.
Right.
So, I mean, it's fucking good. Like,
are they British?
I have no idea where they're from. I don't know anything about the band other than I listen to them sometimes.
Okay.
And Sawed Off fucking rules. That's all I know.
You know, I think that's a British term, sawed off.
SAWED.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like to be a parallel, sawed off and sawed off. You know, like, I don't know.
Honorable mention is the Sleep Token singles. Not great gym music though. So
yeah,
but
some people like to listen to it in the gym. I think Joe listens to it in the gym. But also Joe,
I can, but it's not a barbell.
Right. I'm doing accessory work.
We're doing accessory work. I just want something playing in the background band.
Yeah.
But, yep.
I felt that.
All three of those are good, but yeah, a bunch of reasons to be excited about metal right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the doom metal band Wake, RWAKE, is playing with my. Is that how you say it?
You said
RW.
RW. Oh, okay.
AKE.
I thought you said, yeah.
They're playing with a friend of mine's band, Hexus, I think somewhere in Birmingham. But they're like fucking doom legends. Mm-hmm. Their new record.
I haven't heard it. I'll have to check
extremely fucking heavy. Not quite as slow pace as you would expect.
Okay.
It's not like Judd. It's not Judd. It's not Judd Doom. You know what I mean?
Hog Mountain.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Judd Doom.
That goes
very
way back. Man,
shout out to anybody that remembers who, if you're listening from anywhere in the country, because they were actually pretty popular. Anybody remembers Hog Mountain, you should conversate with us about that.
Yeah.
That was Nathan's late great uncle. That was kind of a local music legend. So
also kind of a scumbag.
He was, but he was our scumbag.
Yeah, that's the best way. I mean, genuinely, I don't think like anything bad of Judd. Like,
I don't think he did any harm by anybody.
No, I don't think not intentionally. Like, if he did, I genuinely don't think he meant to hurt anybody. But like.
But local music legend. Yep.
I will still call him a scumbag and a rat turd.
That's fair.
I don't know why my brother started that, but when we were like teenagers, he was like, "That's Uncle Rat Turd." I was like, "I guess that's Uncle Rat Turd." I just went along with it. So
that was a different group of people for sure. I'm not gonna. One of my close friend of mine was in the same circle, didn't play the same type of music. And Jason Willingham is also a local music legend, just an absolute fucking god. But very much in the same circle and very much a rat turd. He's cleaned it up. He's done really, really well. But yeah, that's just facts about the local scene here. So Nathan's going to catch you up and catch me up too, likely on happenings around powerlifting the last couple of weeks since we haven't aired in a while. And the last air was with our bodybuilding friend, Chris Stack. So we didn't really talk a lot about powerlifting. So I'm going to let Nathan take this one away, and then we might get into some other things, time permitting.
Well, I mean, I only had a couple of things on the brain, but I mean, everybody and their mom has been talking about the knee sleeve ban that we haven't talked about. There's a lot better sources of information that you could get sources from, but I was asked specifically, "Hey, are you going to talk about this?" And I was like, yeah, we probably should, because it does affect powerlifting as a whole, not just the IPF, because everybody looks at the IPF because they're this huge thing. But if you don't know for some reason, you are in the powerlifting space, IPF banned the use of the super stiff sleeves. I think they're 7 mil or 8 mil or whatever.
7 mil.
7 mil. So all of that, it seems to stem from SBD not wanting to make a super stiff sleeve, and SBD is their biggest supporter. There was a lot of back and forth about like it. So it could be that SBD is pushing this narrative and saying, "Hey, you got to ban all these," because we had this huge influx of lifters in powerlifting America who were not wearing SBD stuff. What the fuck? Like, so they're like, you need to investigate this stuff. Why is this stuff legal? When they've been legal for like years. Yeah. Like the IPF has been allowing it for years. I can't remember. Do you remember the company that made the first one?
I don't. I mean, the first ones that I remember being great are the Enzers.
I think it was Enzer because...
and then the ones that everybody moved to were the A7 Rigor Mortis.
Yeah, so Enzer, A7, and there's another brand.
I use Strength Shop.
Strength Shop
7 mils. I'm sure probably Strength House Project probably has some. Like, if you make sleeves, you probably have some unless you're SBD.
Yeah, because SBD was the only one that didn't do it, and nobody really understood why. There was some speculation as they didn't have the money to make new sleeves or to like try and build, even though the
brand's huge.
Like, and it's not even that they like they would make money off of it. They know
the demand's there.
The demand is there, and lots of people really like support SBD, especially IPF lifters. So like, you're telling me SBD, the guys that I've been using forever, are making this stiff sleeve? I'm gonna buy it. But instead, they were just like, these shouldn't be legal. So, you know,
a little bit of nepotism at play, like taking care of your homie, basically. Like,
so IPF,
I'm sure that's been speculated.
It's speculated. There's obviously none of this has come out as fact yet. So the IPF banned them after reevaluating, which was immediately after Powerlifting America Nationals. It's just, the timing is really weird, right? Just because all of a sudden all these new sleeves are popping up on live stream, SBD freaks out. Anyway, there's also question as to whether they should have been legal in the first place. So going back a little bit further, well, significantly further, I can't remember who it was that said this. If I had his Instagram, I'd shout him out. There was a lawsuit between Enzer and the IPF, and I don't remember how all that occurred. But apparently there was the reason why the IPF was allowed to come back, that like the Enzer sued them, and I could be getting this wrong. It could be a different brand, but whoever was the first one to make these sleeves was the one that started the lawsuit. They sued the IPF, and I don't even remember why. But that lawsuit happened. Enzer won, and then they were like, well, you can come back if we're the number one sponsor, or whatever. They had some agreement worked out. Anyway, fast forward a little bit. Enzer submits the new sleeves to be reviewed, and they get approved. So the question is, did they even review them, or did they say, oh, it's Enzer, we have to approve? Was there some sort of like negotiation that happened after the lawsuit or during the lawsuit that basically said, hey, if we send you stuff, you have to approve it?
Yeah.
So did they review it? Did they care? Should they have been legal in the first place? Did they fuck up 5 years later, be like, oh, we need to fix this, at the benefactor of SBD being like, we don't make these? So, you know, like, there's a lot of different theories out there and a lot of speculation at play, but all we really know is that they were banned and that they were not, SBD was not prominent at that meet.
Sure.
At Powerlifting American Nationals. So, big question mark. What happened here?
I mean, it sounds like SBD wants to be taken care of, and once their shit supported, nobody else's. I mean, that's what it sounds like. I mean,
when you think about it, SBD,
that's corporate greed at its finest.
Yeah,
really. I mean,
SBD has the only reason why Powerlifting America and the IPF in America are big is because of Sheffield, and that is SBD's meet. So it's like they're basically a big cohesion right there. So if SBD is like, we're just going to pull our sponsorship if you don't do this, then IPF's like, well, shit, that's our moneymaker meet. Like, that's what everyone cares about. So we kind of have to like work with it. So, you know, it's hard to say for sure what actually happened, what and it's also hard to say who's in the right and who's in the wrong, but I will say I don't support SBD.
We're also not natty lifters, so we really don't support PA.
Yeah. I mean, we know people who lift in PA.
We support them.
And we know people who were going to PA who may not be going to PA anymore. Well, they did compete in APA meet and were going to go to nationals, but didn't due to life, I think. So it's kind of like, and then after all this happened, they were like, well, I don't know if I want to compete here anymore. And there's a lot of people who have been like, I don't know if I want to compete with PA anymore because this ban just goes to show how like out of touch they are with the lifting base, like their customer base, because it's like, sure, you've had this approved for years. How can you just take that back after further review?
Curious thing for me is like, we still acknowledge records that were done in a 7 mil.
Yep.
So if the records are still going to be if you've worn them, is it a huge difference? Maybe not. But if you've worn them, you know that there is a quantifiable difference between a 7 mil and a 5 mil. Like, we know that, right?
Right.
Like, so now these everybody's supposed to lift in a 5 mil, and now we're asked to break records, long-standing records that were set in a 7 mil. Will they get broken? Yeah, eventually. But it does slow that curve.
Right.
A whole lot. I mean, that sucks. Opinion as a coach is that 7 mils, especially if they fit correctly, are kind of a pain in the ass to get on.
Yep. And
because they're so thick, they also tear a little bit quicker. And I really have advised all my lifters to lift primarily in a 5 mil until like the last 6 weeks. Basically until prep/peak, like to get used to the sleeve, because like the expense of them is tremendously higher. And they seem to not last as long, to held up to as much daily wear and tear. Some lifters, everybody's squatting 1 time a week at least, right? We have some lifters, though, depending on skill level, that may be squatting 3 times a week. The wear and tear becomes expensive on gear. If you know,
they're also a pain in the ass to squat in for reps.
They are. Like the chances are you're probably not wearing them set to set. You're probably pulling them down between sets. There's a whole process of getting them back up, especially if, like I said, if they fit correctly, they're really, really tight. Like they're kind of inconvenient to train in. So like, good Lord willing, like people just stay in their 5s and they're not really too messed up. But I mean, if you're training consistently in a 7 and then they're asked to move to a 5, it's probably going to fuck you up.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a pair of 7s that I will train in, but they're so blown out and so worn out that a new pair of 5s would arguably be more supportive than.
Right.
So like, I'm just not going to buy 5s because I already have a worn out pair of 7s.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I really believe that durability's sake and price point sake, like it's probably wiser to train in a 5 anyway.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing. I've been training in my old Mark Bell slingshot sleeves.
Because those black A7s are hard as fuck to get on.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable. Like
if I was asked to do like what I'm doing right now in those A7s, I don't know that I could physically do it because I don't know if I would be strong enough to hold them in that position with that little weight.
Yeah.
Like, so it's so there comes a point where it's like they do not help you.
I have a problem with the female lifter right now having calf pain, calf cramp, and feet numbness from the rigor mortis. And we're just like, she wants to buy new sleeves. I'm like, you don't need to buy new sleeves. You just need to train in something else.
Yeah.
Like an old pair.
Put those on.
They're not convenient for set to set.
Yeah.
They're meant for 3 singles.
Yep.
And you're done. So, I mean.
Or 3 or 4 heavy sets, like something, but not long term. Like, they're not supposed to be on you for several minutes, like
minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Like, if you have if your leg day runs an hour and a half, you're probably going to wear them for 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they're really not ideal for that.
Right.
So like, I'm kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think what sucks about it is like SBD is pretty much just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah.
What if SBD changed their mind in 5 years and says, okay, we're going to do a 7 mil now, and a 7 mil all of a sudden allowed because SBD says so? I mean,
see, here's the thing. It's what it's going to take. It's going to take the IPF reverting the ban on the stiff knee sleeve, and then once that reversed, then SBD is forced into making them because to keep up with the market, they have to.
Yep.
So is it going to be that somewhere down the line, the IPF and SBD have a conversation. We're unbanning this at this time, so you need to make your sleeve by this time.
Yep.
And then they may just say no, and then you may see an SBD IPF split, and then Sheffield is in the shitter. And where does Sheffield go? I don't know. Maybe another federation picks it up. USAPL. Trying to think of another big.
Well, I mean, PLU could do it drug tested. I mean, like anything
I don't
like that.
think SBD would pick up PLU, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
I don't. But I mean, they could, but I just don't. I don't see it.
I think that there's just like, I understand. Okay, this is a conversation me and Ron have had, and he, has talked me out of my hatred for natty lifting a little bit. I understand that if you want to lift on an international stage, the quickest way to that and to grow the sport on an international level is the drug tested route.
Yep.
Because the participation is higher, competition is a little bit better. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're stronger lifters. It just means that there's more. If you're a 100 kilogram lifter, there's more 100 kilogram lifters nationally than there would be if you were PLU untested.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So competition to competition, your competition is more elite.
Yep.
Even though the totals may be less because they're tested, you have more comparable. Competition.
Yep.
It is also the quickest path to an international stage. It's also probably the quickest path to be noticed publicly.
Right.
So I understand all that about that stuff. But like, it's more of the same thing that we've complained about in the show before. Like, their drug testing standards are WADA standards, right? WADA, I understand why WADA exists, not necessarily mad that WADA exists. But, this is also an organization that asks you to be free of mental health drugs if those mental health drugs can be skewed as performance enhancing.
Right.
So what comes to mind first is Adderall, Vyvanse, things like that for people that are ADD or ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, they have to come off these meds and are very, very unwell in their peak or prep because they have to be quote unquote drug free.
Right.
We've talked about it with TRT. TRT is performance enhancing, but if it's what's required for you to be in normal range, I don't think it should be considered.
Right.
To be completely honest. If your testosterone is already in normal and you start a TRT dosage and it's above, the 300 to 1,000 marker that we all consider normal range, then it's a problem. But like, things that make you normal shouldn't be banned.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of just goes, it's just fucking at the top levels of tested powerlifting, there just seems to be this like fucking gatekeeping, just like fucking smugness.
Yeah. That
I understand why some lifters defend to an extent, especially if they're lifetime drug free and want to be drug free. But like, when you start talking about things that affect people's well-being and then things that don't really affect the outcome of the game so much as they just affect like lifters' preference, it's kind of just like, we're just fucking jacking off now.
Right.
Like, really, like, this, what are we fucking talking about? Like, so I'm kind of just like, I don't want to minimize the situation, but I'm just kind of like, it's more IPF bullshit.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
at the end of the day, it kind of does just feel
more,
like,
like,
it's another thing. But then again, in all of powerlifting, it always feels like we get somewhere and then there's another thing. Whatever federation it may be.
Going back to when we started the show and we talked for fucking 6 weeks about the USPA scandal.
Yep.
I mean, we've talked about kind of off segments of the same issues happening in places, whether it's like with Brooke and her ex or something like that. But those people are involved in these federations and like federations don't do anything or what have you, or they make these fucking bullshit rules or whatever they may be. But it's like one after another after another. And then on top of that, I compared it to boxing as a professional sport. None of these federations are unified, and because none of these federations are unified, we really don't have a clear idea of who the best is because everybody's got these fucking moving standards, sliding standards, and all this other shit. That got brought up when Joe's record got broken on a squat. Like, he squatted that weight by SPF standards, but like, it wouldn't have passed in the PLU, WRPF, USPA. It wouldn't have passed otherwise. Like, it's just more of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit different flavor, but like,
and it's
more of the same.
It's funny. I saw a lot of memes when it was first popping up. Is like, why are all the untested powerlifters mad about this? Because it doesn't affect them. And it's like, No, yeah, I get that. It doesn't affect me. Haha, I get to wear my stiff sleeves. But also, if everyone else is looking at it like, how are people reacting? Like, if people reacted positively to it, you don't think every other federation would have banned them? Because they would have.
Yeah.
If everyone said, oh, thank God, please ban these. I'm so glad you banned these. Everyone was like, oh, well, we need to ban them too. Oh, God. But they didn't. They responded unfavorably. So all the other federations were like, hey, you can still wear the sleeves here. And everyone's like, yay, we're going to these. Because, I mean, when you think about it, there's always going to be a federation that's going to appeal to somebody. That's why the SPF is still around. Because some people don't want
to a little bit different standard.
Yeah, some people want to lift to a different standard. Some people want to compete at a much higher standard, a much stricter standard. That's why most of the other federations are, around. And then, like, some people want to be drug tested. And that's why PA, USAPL, they're so big, because it's like, these are the big tested federations. This is where we go. Some people want to compete at tested, and that's like, there's never going to be, and we talked about this there's never going to be a unifying team for making world records, like to judge world records. So there's never going to be a unifying federation. Like, yeah,
but that's the reason I'm curious as to, toot my own horn, pat my own back a little bit. Kind of curious as to. We already know, like, I've dedicated my life to this. I do it for a living now. I don't compete for a living, but I train competitors for a living at this point. Powerlifting is incredibly important to me. I see how important it is to people like you and Austin, and Ron's made it his whole life. He has an identity outside of that. We all do. I understand that, but like, this is our livelihood. Mm-hmm. From a competitor standpoint, it doesn't get to be our livelihood.
Yep.
So I wonder if it's not going to cause things like I do, unsanctioned. You're going to get paid for being the strongest person there. Kind of meets to not kind of start coming to the forefront a little bit, because like, the standard is a standard that day. Mm-hmm. If I have judges volunteer, we all have a set amount of rules. We agree on the rules before we start lifting. But like, I guess what I'm saying is the standard slides competition, mm-hmm. if that makes sense. We would like for it not to, but like, also there's not too many like avenues for people to go get paid mm-hmm. when they have sub 500 dots.
Right.
Honestly, if you want my honest opinion, 500 to 600 dots is no man's land in powerlifting. You're good enough to be
at a pro meet.
You're not good enough to take home any of the money. Like,
well,
there are standards. I mean, there are exceptions to that. But like, with these that actually pay out substantial amounts of money, like, wouldn't say life-changing money, but like, make the year's worth of work worth it. These places that pay 10,000 plus mm-hmm. the lifter of the day, like, 500 to 600 dots is no man's land. I mean,
I disagree. Mostly because it depends on what meet you go to. Like, ABS was stacked. Like, this past ABS was stacked.
Every American Pro we've seen so far has been.
Well, that's the thing. The last American Pro, the top wrapped guy had a 560 dots.
Sure.
And then the top
606, wasn't it?
Whatever Kyle won.
606.
What did he have? 606? Yeah. So like,
it's a little above, but like, I mean,
but if Kyle didn't show up, who was the next person? I think did Jawan come in second?
Probably.
And I think he had like a 580 or something.
580, 590, somewhere like
that. So like,
you
like,
well,
I would say sub 550.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, like, but like, I mean, I think there's exceptions probably, but like,
because you never know who's going to show up to it.
But John Hack shows up to ABS or the American Pro,
trying to get second place, dog.
I mean, you know what I mean? Everybody's competing for second. Like, so we have a handful of meets that are like that, and any meet that's like substantial, there's outliers, but there's always the potential for John Hack, Jawan, Kyle,
Colton,
somebody like that to show up and just fucking rob everybody blind. Yeah. I mean, like, they earned it in the same sense that everybody else earned it, but like, there is like this, like, nobody gets paid for the work that they do. Like, like, really, I bet that even with John Hack's probably the highest earning powerlifter. Potentially with the meets and stuff that he's won.
If you're just talking meets,
and we're not talking about like,
if you're not talking sponsorships,
he probably hasn't won $250,000 in total.
Right.
So like, like, these people don't get paid. Like, so like, I just wonder if the standard continues to slide, what keeps people from going and making $1,000 a week?
Right.
In a weekend, not a week, because you can't do it week to week. But like, what keeps people from doing that? Being like, well, at least it's a part-time job now, and at least like I can go, like a 500 dots would win anything that we do,
right?
But like, it's not winning Ghost Clash or American Pro or
right.
It's not, you know what I mean? So there is in terms of monetary gain, there is like a no man's land in powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's 475 to 550, but like we can agree it's there.
Yeah,
where exactly it's at in that dot scale probably could be argued, but like, and that's where most good lifters exist.
Yeah,
elite lifters still like so. Joe said it himself: 500 to be pro. Like, it's a huge dots. Not cutting it down. That if you know somebody with 500 dots, that is the strongest person you know. I guarantee goddamn it.
Right.
Like, no questions asked. Like, but like, still gonna show up and get drugged and just like all that hard work. I don't know. I mean, I think that there's just like, so I hope that the appeal for the sport continues. But I think I've long said it too. Another appeal of the money, the unsanctioned money meets is that like, there's no like, because there's no hierarchy, you just show up and get paid and have fun. I mean, it is what it is, but there's no like reason for these allegiances to these federations that ultimately don't give a fuck about you.
Right.
Like, it's almost as bad as politics. You just subscribe to a team because those are our options, and we're just, it's a turd sandwich. You got to put mustard on it and eat it. And,
Yeah, I get
what
that.
brand of bread do you like? That's what we're talking about, like right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I
Dijon or yellow. Like,
I will defend PLU a little bit because I do feel like they are genuinely trying to like make a federation that is for the lifters.
I think here in the state, specifically with Heidi, that's true.
I feel like PLU as a whole federation is trying to do that. Are they trying to make money? Absolutely.
I don't doubt that, but the example we have, most readily available, we have a good one.
Yep.
And I believe she's trying to do that.
Yep.
I'm not going to speak for the rest of them because I don't think everybody's experiences are different.
Right.
And other than nationals, we don't get to experience those other people.
I will say Heidi was very up on the guys from New Jersey. I can't remember his name, the guy who the state director for New Jersey. And that's who's hosting nationals this year. So potentially, if Heidi speaks highly of them, I would.
Yeah, I would be more.
Agree,
yeah, I'd be inclined to do the same. But like, I just have to ask at some point, when do we say what are we subscribing to and why are we subscribing to it?
Well, I mean, also look at what is it? This is powerlifting. That small federation.
Yeah.
Over in I mean, that's what they're doing. Yeah. They're running a meet every 4 or 6 months. They're paying people money, and people are showing up, and people are like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome." You do have to pay for a membership, I believe, but
something has to pay for how you get it,
I mean, but still, they're paying out a bunch of money, for different reasons. Like, it's not just best dots. Like, they're giving away money for best lift, heaviest deadlift,
sure,
all sorts of different stuff. So it's like, and it's always apparent. Well, I mean, they've only done one. They're working on a second one, but it seems to be doing a lot. It seems to be successful. So you might be right. Like,
I mean, I think all of us would like to be on a bigger stage for powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of us wouldn't get to. We still work hard enough that we would like to see some fruit from our labor.
Right.
I mean,
what you mean? Going to the gym and doing the thing isn't the fruit of your labor?
I think it is for some of us. Like, I like that part. I like the grind. I like, but I mean it's still fucking hard work. I mean, I still wouldn't turn down the opportunity to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
if it was like the options given to me were go do this thing or go do this thing and potentially get paid for it, I'm going to pick the one that potentially will pay me.
Yeah.
Right. Because why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's frustrating, especially as a coach too. You're keeping up with multiple rule books. You're keeping up with, I mean,
now multiple sleeve legalities.
Yep.
Like,
I have some more to say about that real quick. I got to go piss real quick. So,
okay.
My bad. But anyway, my first 2 experiences of powerlifting were 2 way different federations. It was the USAPL and it was SPF. USAPL at the time I started coaching was pretty strict about rules on brands, what brands you could wear, what brands you could represent.
Yep. Were they also IPF affiliated?
Yeah, they were at the time. They were the IPF, the American IPF affiliate before that divorce happened. But they were pretty strict on all that stuff, and you had to go on the thing, and you had to buy, approved brands, stuff like that. And then you got to equipment check, and they're supposed to be checking these things, and they're just like, "Oh, it really doesn't matter at a local meet." Okay, I understand that, but these are the rules you set in place. These are the rules you have online. All these new lifters just spent much more money than they could have to buy these approved brands, only to be told it's a local meet. It doesn't matter. That's unfair in its own way because you have people going and forking out other money. It's also unfair in the sense that a 5 mil sleeve is a fucking 5 mil sleeve.
Right.
Are there brands better than the others? Yeah, 100%. But just because it's a cheap off brand, I promise you, if it's a cheap off brand, they're not getting some kind of goddamn advantage.
No, from genuinely, the only thing that the only reason why they have to buy those brands is because those brands paid to be on the list.
That's it.
It has nothing to do with specs or anything. It has nothing to do with it being approved.
And it's honestly a really low, douchey way of gatekeeping.
Yep.
And I remember, as much as we dump on the SPF meets were still fun for me because it's like, oh, you got a 4-inch belt, you got sleeves, not wearing wraps, cool. Don't fucking put underwear on that counts as cheating, and we're good. You know what I mean? That's the equipment check. Honestly, it's maybe the most fair because they're open and honest about it. You're not wearing briefs, you registered for sleeves, and you're wearing sleeves, and you don't have a band belt.
Cool.
Let's go lift. You know what I mean? I don't really understand. That's something that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and there's just some smugness about it that I'm like, these people don't even know if they like this yet.
Right.
This poor girl's about to go total 550, which is fine. Not mad about that. It's her first meet ever. She's nervous as fuck, and you're going to tell me that she has to worry about whether or not she's wearing a Nike t-shirt under her singlet?
Right. Come on now.
It's pretty goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
also, there are some extents where it's
that was a exaggeration.
Right. Yeah.
But
I guess my thoughts on that are kind of if it's their first meet, it's kind of is that the right place for them? If it isn't, there are other options where you can find something that's just going to be local, fun, something that, just chill.
Yeah.
But if they're serious and they're like, well, I want to be a really good, and it's still their first meet and they're still not super good, they're going to have to abide by those rules anyway. So getting used to it from the forefront is probably better than.
I agree with that.
So 100%. It's kind of, I think it's you, the coach, and the athlete having a conversation of how serious is this to you?
Yeah.
Are you going to pursue this heavily?
Yeah.
Do you want these very strict rules, or do you just want to go and do the lifting?
I agree.
And so
part of it's on me too. Part of it too, though, is that people, even if it's a one-time experience, people want to go and they want to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They also want competition.
Yep.
So at the time, the best place for drug-tested females were USAPL.
Yep.
I mean, that's where it was. That's what we did. That's where we went. Had the same meet director every time. Worst fucking ran meets ever. She will remain nameless, but it was every time was a 13-hour day, every fucking meet. Doesn't matter if there was 30 lifters or 60, it was a fucking 12 or 13-hour day. Miserable. Hate same day weigh-ins. It's the most awkward use of time.
Mm-hmm. Small shout out to Charlie Lyons.
Always had fucking mint meats,
just
man.
The best. He brought us freaking pizza. He had cases of water. He was here guys, just whatever you gotta do.
Charlie was the fucking man.
Love Charlie.
But I don't know. There's just at every level, specifically of drug tested lifting, there's just new fucking gate that's kept.
Right.
From the next level of drug tested lifting, and it's just
kind of
a little fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, For people that just want to go compete because they believe in being drug tested and they believe in what they're doing and everything like that, that's where you land, and that's important to land where you fit in. And I'm not mad about that. But
that said, there are other tested federations.
You can go PLU tested if you want to. I understand that the international prospect is smaller, but unless you're Ron, Quayla, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably name 3 or 4 other drug tested lifters that we know. Like, you're probably not going to make that. You do have to be realistic about, your future in the sport. You're probably not going to make that international level anyway. Especially in the most saturated
market.
Yeah. Being drug tested. So there has to be some type of like, I'm really good at this. I like this, but am I ever going to go lift in Sheffield? Yeah.
Maybe
not. I mean, like, there has to be some type of like, self-reflection in it, right? Like, we know people, we've named them that they can go and do that, but like,
but it's not every person.
It's very, very small.
Definitely not every powerlifter you've ever met. Especially on the tested side. So that's where it's like, okay, you could go PLU tested, you could go to USAPL. Like, there are other options out there. I wouldn't go to USAPL on personal beliefs.
I know a lot of people like that because of the prospect of the pro card and potentially getting paid.
Right.
They have paid meets now.
Yeah.
Once you have your pro card, which is fair. Reasonable reason to go do it, but like
USPA is doing it too. I don't know. They don't have a pro card, but they are doing cash meets.
To stop picking on tested exclusively, there's just on almost every controllable detail, there is a sliding standard within the federation itself, and then even more so from federation to federation.
Yep.
And that makes it's not a drag. It's my favorite thing on the planet, but it does make it a little bit of a drag when really the only thing you want to do is show up and squat, bench, and deadlift.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's our job.
Right.
At the end of the day. And it's like, I have to keep up with all this horse shit. Case in point, to some extent, like, I mean, if you know the rules and break them, you cheated.
Right.
Or with that. I mean, we've discussed that a little bit, but like, some things is just fucking minutia.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fucking matter.
It's fair.
The brand of sleeves you have on, it doesn't fucking matter. If a guy's
gonna SBD because they need more money.
If a guy's gonna out squat you by 100 pounds and because he's got and he's gonna do it in 7mm sleeves, but he was still gonna out squat you by 75 and 5 mils.
Or 85 or 90 or 100.
Like
there's been
it
studies.
Was still, listen, if that guy was gonna beat you by that bad,
he was just
gonna beat you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
there have been some studies, and I don't know them closely, so I'm not gonna say whether they're true or false. But there were supposedly studies that said a 7mm and a 5mm really didn't make that much of a difference in like somebody's back squat. There was like negligible amount, like 10 pounds. 10, 15 pounds.
10 pounds is 10 pounds.
It is. It's pounds.
That's winning and losing sometimes. We know that, right? But like, yeah, I mean, a 7mm sleeve is not going to make a bad squatter a good squatter.
Yeah. What was it that, was it Ed Cohen?
As Louis said it.
Louis.
Don't have $100 shoes and a 10-cent squat.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the sleeve isn't going to, it's the same thing as the fucking shoes, dude. Yeah. Like, there has been plenty of people squat fucking 800 pounds in Converses. You don't necessarily have to go by the tiers.
Yep.
Like, are they cool? Are they comfortable? Fuck yeah. But like,
if you know what I mean? The heel,
there has been more records broken in the cheapest pair of shoes of all fucking time than there has any other fucking shoe.
Right.
Well, like, I feel the same way about sleeves to an extent. Like, if that guy was going to beat you, he would have done it in a 5mm sleeve. Yep. Like,
it's just, that's
like,
not, it's,
you know, if we're talking about like, you know, you squatted, you know, 675 and he squatted 680 and he had a 7mm sleeve on, you had a 5, maybe we can have that conversation. Right. But like, beyond it being like neck and neck, you really can't fucking have that conversation. Like,
and there, it may be true for some people that happened, but here's the thing: if it was legal at the time, then it was on you for not wearing the 7mm.
Yep.
Like, that's just the way it is. But
I've been good at things and I've been bad at things in powerlifting. God knows I'm bad at squats. nothing has made me, not a single piece of gear has made me better at anything the way that just being better at that thing did.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, there are things that inspire some confidence. But shit, up until recently, up until this quad tear, I was in sleeves for it, but I'd been training naked knees, and it was just because I didn't want to fucking pull a 7mm knee sleeve up.
Right.
Fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's submaximal right now. Like, by the time I get warmed up, it won't fucking matter.
Right.
Like, naked knees will be fine. It doesn't matter. Like, but nothing in not a single piece of gear in powerlifting has ever made me markedly better. You know what I mean? Like,
better, yeah.
Like just training has.
Yep.
I mean, that same thing extends to drugs. Right. I mean, like, there's nothing I've ever taken that has made me better than just hard work has made me better. Yeah. So, I mean, and there is a marked difference between drugs and not drugs. Yeah. So, like,
all these things that you've mentioned are supposed to complement the training and the lifting, and like it's what it's designed for. It's not designed to make you. It's not
designed to carry you.
Yeah.
If it inspires confidence, then I would say in an acute setting, maybe those 7mm make a difference. By the time you're used to them,
it just becomes squatting again.
It's just squatting again. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, first time you put them on, they feel good.
Bouncy. Reverb.
Feel bouncy. Yep. You know, they're moving a little bit better than usual. 3 or 4 weeks in, it's just another knee sleeve.
Yep.
Like, hate to break it to you, but I mean.
So,
go ahead.
Well, we'll go a little long today, because I did want to cover a couple other things real quick. I wanted to talk about, and this is something I just sent to you, so it was fresh on my mind. We had Goob talking about that coach who had this woman who was clearly not ready for a show, saying she was going to compete. She was doing posing.
6 weeks out.
Was it 6 weeks
Something
out?
Like that. No, it was a small number.
Pretty close. The thing was, she wanted to do this bodybuilding show because her dad likes bodybuilding. He's doing the show, and she just wanted to do it with her dad.
Dad looks great, by the way.
Dad looks great. Dad's a legit.
Yeah.
He's a Masters. He's probably gonna place, if not win. He looked great. Chest a little small. That's the only thing I would have.
Well, he's probably in his 60s too.
Right.
So bear that in mind.
That's Masters.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But anyway, but she does not at all look like bodybuilder. Lots of comments saying, "Why would you do this? Why would you put her on stage in front of everybody?" We had a little bit of differing opinions on it. I think we both have the same like
core belief about it.
Yeah, but just a little bit different on the details. Me specifically, when I saw this and Goob posted it, and he was like, "This is terrible. Like, I don't believe in this because this is bad for his business," which I agree with to an extent. It does not look good for him to say, "Your show ready, go on there." But I don't think that's what he's saying, right? I don't think he's saying this person is show ready. I think what this dude is saying is, she wanted to do this competition in 6 weeks, and I'm going to do the best of my ability to get her there. I know she's not going to win. I know she's not going to place.
But why discourage her?
But she's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And if she wants to do it, isn't it my obligation to help her as best I can? Yeah, she's going to go up there, and if she wants to do it, and like, why not? Like, it's a free country. Let her do it. Like, I don't understand all this backlash. I think it's just the internet being the internet, honestly. But like, my whole thing was like, she was going to pay somebody to do it regardless. She was going to pay somebody to teach her how to pose, to get on stage, to do this.
Some coach's ass was going to be on the line.
Right.
Regardless. And
he came out and he was just like, she wants to do it. That's why I'm doing it. It has nothing like, and there are going to be people there's like two different sides, and I'll get into this a little bit. There's the one side that's going to be like me and I believe you and Zach Rodriguez, who are just kind of like, well, she just wants to do it. She just wants to have fun. Like, it's fine. It's not that big deal. And then there's this other group of people that are like saying it's like
disrespectful to the sport.
Exactly. Like saying, oh, you can't put somebody who's not ready on a stage, but like, why can't you?
Sure.
There's been people have done that before. Like, It's usually a meme when people are posting these videos of like these skinny white guys up there, or like dad bod white guys, like flexing with the bodybuilders, but like if it is open registration.
Yeah, so there's a big part of me that says like she's gonna do it. Like we'll do it as right as we can to the very end, and how she looks is how she looks, and that's fine. With bodybuilding, I mean, it being a little bit more political sport, like you do have your reputation on the line as a coach. I'm about to go send somebody to lose at my first real bodybuilding open thing. Like I have a kid that's with me for bodybuilding. He's going to be really good. He will not be very good this first show. I'm going to have to fucking eat it.
Yeah.
I am basically relying on what I see in the future and not what he is. It's not much different than your situation when I said you should be a powerlifter.
Right.
I mean, I see something in the kid that you can't physically see yet. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I want him to go. He's comfortable with losing. He knows what it is going to take to not lose. He also knows that he's about to get fucking reamed.
Right.
I mean,
so when you say open, you mean like
he's going to be in classic.
Okay. Is he going to be like open classic, or is he going to be like
he's going to be open classic?
So not an age division.
Not in an age division. Yep. He's not big enough. He's about Chris's height. Off-season weight is 70 pounds less than Chris. Yeah, the cap for their height's 217. We're bulking to 205 currently.
Right. Yeah.
So you see, he's also currently drug-free. He does want to do a natural division. I don't know what that changes in terms of weight requirements.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding divisions are very
different.
There's very different, and there's a lot of them. And most of it's based on your height. So it's very, not necessarily confusing, but it's just a lot.
Right. You just have to know.
But also I know if you saw Nick with his shirt off at the beach, you'd be like, that kid's fucking jacked. Like, he's very clearly moving toward this goal.
Right.
This lady that we're talking about is not somebody that if you saw her in a bikini would make you turn your head.
Right. Very normal looking.
Very, very, very normal, very plain, doesn't have a lot of muscle on her at all yet. So there's not like with Nick, you can see my investment. You can see why.
Yeah.
He's not big enough yet.
He's going for the experience.
But you can see why he is chasing this avenue. Like, you see it on his person. You can't wear her.
Right.
So there's like, with Nick, we're going to go do this. We're going to go get the feedback we need, and then we can base training based off this feedback. That's our philosophy with this, right? With her, she does look like somebody's before picture.
Right.
Like, so there's a big part of me that says it is the coach's responsibility to be like, no, there are other avenues. She could have gone to summer shred. I don't know this lady's background story, if she's lost a bunch of weight with a guy or whatnot. Like, she's too soft-bodied for any division of female bodybuilding. She really is. So I do think I have to do this with powerlifters all the time. Right now, Austin being an example, Austin's chasing 18, and then he has bigger numbers he wants to go chase afterwards. Like, I have people come to me all the time that says, do you think this total is possible? I'm like, it's possible. There is no fucking way it's happening this meet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, as a coach, I have to temper expectations all the time. So it's just a normal part of my job. Every coach listening, Ron, Zach, Richard, anybody that listens, every day has a conversation with somebody that tempers expectations.
Right.
Like, that's part of our job. It's not just about the coach making a fool of themselves if this person goes and does this. It's about the athlete doing it. Like, the same reason why we don't program misses in powerlifting. Like, I don't program you a set on a major compound lift that we are going to use in competition, squat, bench, or deadlift, and strongman and some other things. I do not program failure.
Right.
Like, I don't want your ego, your confidence to be shaken by something I thought you should hit and you couldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same rule applies. Like, I'm not going to send you out there just to fail.
Right.
Like,
but I
like
guess
there has to be like some type of like, there is a little bit of responsibility on the coach to be like, maybe this isn't your shtick yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe we need to find a different division, a different federation even would fit her.
Right. But I guess my thought process on it is this. She's going to get some, she's going to do it.
She's going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Right. So if you have someone come to you and say, hey, I want to do this show in 6 weeks, doesn't look at all ready. And are you going to say, I'm not going to take you as a client because you're not going to be able to do it?
No, I'm going to say we're going to do the best we can, but I'm also going to have a conversation about adjusting expectation.
Right. So, but that's the thing.
The difference between this girl and Nick knows the expectation isn't to win this first time.
Right.
It's to go get quality feedback. So I'm new to coaching a sport, so that I have quantifiable feedback and things that we can improve on so that we can go win the next time or the next time or the next time. Bodybuilding is a very long process. There's no guarantee he's going to win for a very long, it might be years before he wins the first time. But like, we need that feedback. With her, I would probably push her to a different federation. I would probably talk about Summer Shred, something like that.
Right.
Knowing that she was going to do it anyway. I know she wants to be on stage with her father. They could do this whole process together and do 2 separate shows. Might be on 2 different dates.
Right.
But like, if it's about being with her dad, it's the process that's going to allow you to be with him. Show date, you're only going to be worried about each other.
Right.
Like, you're not.
I mean, that is true.
You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna see more of him sitting in the crowd watching your dad, and vice versa, than if you compete on the same day.
Right.
Ask anybody that's been to any of these competitions.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're 100% right on that. But I guess what it boils down to this is what I'm gathering from this situation is that she wants to do a show with her dad. They just want to do one together. He's doing this one, and that's what she wants to do. I don't know if the scenario with her dad is like, is this the last time he's doing it? Maybe he's quitting bodybuilding after this. There may be some sort of other reason why this one specific one is special, right? And, it could be that it was thrown on her last minute. She didn't have time to get ready because she didn't even know she wanted to do it until 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it may have been. I don't know. I just feel like if someone came to you and they were going to do it, and you said, hey, you're going to lose. Yeah, I know I'm going to lose. Well, we can do the best we can, and we can at least get some posing down and, stuff like that. So you don't look totally out of place. So you understand what you...
I would still.
Right.
Yeah, I would. I'm not going to deny anybody chasing something they want to do. It's going to come with quite a bit of skepticism and a lot of help from outside sources. Immediately, I'm going to go to Tamara and I'm going to be like, she wants to compete in the show. This is where she's at. She's not going to do well, regardless. But which one of these divisions fits this body style the best? And let's
start from there.
Let's put her where she needs to be if she's going to do it anyway, so that she at least looks like she's going to belong. Right. You know what I mean? She may not win, she may not even place, but at least where it's comparable. You know what I mean? Right. Levels of competition. And then one thing I know about local shows already from bodybuilding is conditioning can win a lot of things. Yeah. What's particularly sad about this girl is this guy's basically not bragging, but she's 6 weeks out and her condition is still
not good.
Horrible. At that point you should be, even if you're not particularly muscular, you should start being a little vascular. You should be looking a certain pudge should pretty much be gone. Right. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, I mean, maybe the coach has failed her some.
It could be.
Maybe. And we don't know what her eating habits are. Maybe she's failed herself some. But I do think a pretty large amount of responsibility lands on the coach. I don't blame him for taking her. I would do the same. Right. I'm going to get plenty of lumps and bruises from this first experience too. Right. Knowing people's opinion about bodybuilding and how important coaching hierarchy and stuff like that is. I know that I'm going to take as bad of a beating or worse than Nick does.
Right.
But like, we can still control all the things we can control. I don't know that I can say that with confidence that he has done that for her.
Right. That's fair. I guess I'm just looking at it, you know, we're all looking at it kind of outside, looking through the glass kind of.
I don't want to. Fitness is for everybody. All these things are for everybody that's willing to do it. It's a little bit different than strength sports in that, like, strength sports are really good about meeting you where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Bodybuilding's a professional roast.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
This is another really sad thing about this too, is this girl is going to go likely not be prepared. It's probably pretty safe to say, knowing what she looks like now, she's probably not going to be prepared. You can ask T, who's an IFBB pro. It does irreparable damage to your ego, to your confidence, to everything. And there's a reason why an IFBB pro is done
right
with the sport. So I don't know if either coach or athlete is prepared for the mental ramifications of basically getting professionally roasted, because that's what's about to happen. I mean,
that's fair too. Nobody's
going to be mad that she's there. I'm sure there's going to be, the internet says otherwise, I guess. So I'm not sure judges necessarily will be,
right.
Professionals, you know what I mean? If they have any professionality about them, they'll give her, the score that she's worthy of, and they'll move on from it, and there won't be a talking point about it, and there shouldn't be. We probably won't get that, knowing that sport, which is where you were probably headed. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about somebody's mental well-being when it comes to bodybuilding. You know what I mean? And who knows, maybe this is something she needs to go be bad at to be good in the future. It might be fuel for fire. But
that is kind of
she's
playing
either
with fire.
She is playing with fire, and she has either failed herself or her coach has failed her.
Right. Or a little bit of both, or, you know.
The truth generally somewhere in the middle. Yeah. So I would imagine, you know, if you don't have the dietary discipline for bodybuilding, buddy, you can't do bodybuilding.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Like,
that's the hardest thing about it. 100%.
Yeah.
The training is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love bodybuilding training.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but that's next level dietary discipline. And I don't know, it's just really, really hard to say if it's wrong or right, if they're at fault or not at fault. Because I've certainly, you know, allowed people to go and do things before they were ready. But like I said, strength sports is very like open arms. Like, they don't care that you're a female with a 65-pound bench press and a 150-pound deadlift and a 110-pound squat. Like, there's a space for you. Everybody's going to be happy to see you do good. But like in bodybuilding specifically, like, you were signing yourself up to basically get fucking roasted. Yeah. Like, that's not what's happening in what we do. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
but I guess
it's slippery.
Yeah.
Would I make if I was in his situation, would I make a fucking public, like, attention drawing post about it? No, I think that guy committed as close to fucking career suicide as you possibly could. You know what I mean?
Some people are in the realm of like, he should be applauded for being willing to do this, like take her and with this little bit of time and still do it, even though most people would tell her no.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of one of those things, right? It's like, do you take the client and help them out to the best of your ability? Or do you tell them no and they go to somebody else and somebody could potentially treat them worse than you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a potential of that too.
And there's also the potential of him just, like I said, I just want the money, so I'm going to take the client.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, there's a lot of slippery things about it, and I just don't know. Can't rightfully decide where I stand on it. To be completely honest with you, I think there's some pretty icky things with it.
Yeah.
In general, like, has she been training like prior to bodybuilding?
Her page has posts of her training. I don't know how many posts of training. See, when Goop posted this, he did not link anybody. He said, do not look for her. Like, please don't harass her.
He intentionally didn't really. He said his opinion about the coach, but intentionally didn't like call him out by name.
Yep.
He was called out,
right,
but not by name. Like he was very, very professional about it, and I don't completely disagree with Goob, but at the same time, like what.
I think that what we need is context, honestly.
Yeah, I think we lack a lot of it, to be completely honest. Like I said, the situation where their dad, is it his last? Is it his first?
Right.
Is it some type of seminal moment for them? If it's about going through prep together, like I said, they could compete a few weeks apart.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
And see more of each other, and maybe she would be better prepared. Conditioning, fortunately, if you're willing to eat the way you're supposed to, conditioning can happen relatively quickly.
Right.
Building muscle does not.
Yeah.
We talked about that being the fallacy of CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's all this focus on work capacity and not necessarily on, strength over broad time. That's an issue. Well, it's the same thing, but different in bodybuilding. And like conditioning can happen quickly. It takes years and years and years and years to build muscle worthy of being on that stage.
Yeah.
And then that muscle also has to be conditioned.
Yep.
So like, I don't know, man. I mean, my personal opinion, would I have taken a client? Yes, we would have pushed her to the most appropriate class and possibly to another show.
Right.
If she was my client.
If she was willing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I think that's the best approach to have. Like, I wouldn't want to turn anyone away because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to send you to somebody else who's going to turn you down. Like,
if it's a federation that has fitness, maybe you get her conditioned enough that she can go do fitness.
Right.
And that could probably make sense in
right.
6 to 8 weeks worth of conditioning and dieting and stuff like that. That could be it. Maybe did he say a class?
I didn't see.
If it's like bikini or something like that, she's fucked.
Right.
Like way fucked.
Well, I mean, she's obviously not doing open.
Yeah.
Or wellness.
Yeah.
Like,
so.
Well, I can't say that, but I would hope not.
Wellness and fitness is the same thing. Depends on the federation. I forget.
I think wellness is abroad, but I
don't really remember. There's so many of these, and I'm brand new to it too.
Wellness is the big leg, big butt girls.
Right now, I know. I know about my client. He's going to classic.
Yeah.
I know the classic poses. I know the ratio of back, waist, legs that he needs. Those are the things I need right now, and that's what I know, and that's what I'm dealing with. This is as much of an introduction to bodybuilding for me as it is to him. So it might be the worst experience of my life for both of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I really do have a lot of faith in him. He's very, very good, very dedicated. But like, it's like apples to oranges because like Nick came to me in shape, fit, muscular, a strong man before he said, let's go do this.
Right.
Like I said, if you saw Nick with his shirt off, it's very, very clear he is headed in this direction.
Right.
Like you could look at him and say he's an amateur bodybuilder right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is not necessarily the same situation.
Right. I get that.
Very hard to say.
Yeah. I feel you there. Last thing since our camera died, which is my fault because I just didn't plug it in. Plug's just sitting there in the charger. And it's just not plugged into the camera. I literally set it up and everything, just didn't fucking plug it in. Anyway, last thing, I hate to say very briefly, but I did want to bring up that our friend Brooke Reynolds is starting a podcast. She recorded her first episode today. The podcast is called She Said What She Said. Go check it out. It's not just going to be powerlifting. It was going to be, she had a doctor, like a medical doctor. I want to say family practice, but I could be wrong. As her first guest, and she's going to do like powerlifting, lifestyle, just all sorts of different stuff. But she has a lot to say about different things. She has big opinions on things, so it's probably going to be a pretty interesting podcast.
Sure.
So check her out. Check that out.
Yeah, Brooke is somebody we're going to support for a long time. I think she's a friend of a show now, and I think she talks to us both a little bit. Yeah. Probably. Yep. But definitely somebody we support. Y'all heard her story. We don't have to rehash it, but like that's somebody worthy of your support for sure. So definitely listen to She Said What She Said, and support it, like, follow it. Same thing you do for us. 5 stars, share it, comments.
Yep. crossover episode will happen at some point. We don't know when yet. It'll happen though.
That would be great. It'd be awesome. But that's it. We had some other things we might talk about. Got it in the chamber. We might talk about later regarding food hacks.
Yeah.
That's something we know pretty well as coaches and stuff like that. So eating healthy without making yourself feel like you're eating healthy, if that makes sense.
It doesn't have to be
miserable.
It doesn't have to be ground chicken and rice.
So that might be coming down the pipeline. But we just didn't get to it tonight. It is, it is what it is. Take a shot.
We don't have any.
We don't have any. I'm out.
I didn't have any today.
But yeah, I think that's the show. You got any dad jokes?
Oh yeah, sure.
We do that,
We do that, don't we?
We do that.
We do the dad jokes. Let's pull up Instagram.
I have 14 missed messages.
I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite as many. I'm not as popular as you, though. Let's see. Scroll down to some of these. Ooh.
You got one?
Yeah. So, Thanos goes to the urologist.
Oh my God.
And he says, congratulations, you now have the kidney stone.
Good one. Should we publicly out KJ for being wrong about Thanos' ability to destroy Darth Vader?
Oh, he's 100% wrong. 100% wrong. I have to wait because some of these are videos.
My wife blocked me on Facebook because I post too many bird puns. Who can play at that game? Oh man, I don't get excited about it. I haven't told one myself in like several weeks. So
yeah, I guess you haven't. Yeah.
Yep.
2 drunk guys were about to get in a fight. One draws a line in the dirt and says, "If you cross this line, I'll hit you in the face." It was the punchline. You already knew that one coming. I could see it in your face.
You come from dust, you will return to dust. That's why I don't dust. It could be somebody I know.
A man is buying a banana, an apple, and 2 eggs. The cashier says, "You must be single." The man replied, "Wow, how did you know that?" The cashier said, "Because you're ugly."
Immoral is against the law. Illegal is a sick bird.
That's pretty good.
Fuck.
My girlfriend broke up with me for being too un-American. Saw it from a kilometer away. I went to the doctor and said, "Doc, I've broken my arm in 2 places." And the doctor said, "You should stop going to those places."
I just saw my wife trip over and drop a basket of laundry she had just ironed. I watched it all unfold.
A police officer stopped me and said, "Why are you driving around with a book in your hands?" I said, "It's a long story."
Oh, man. I think that might be all I've got.
Well, I'm getting into yours.
Fun fact, koi fish will travel in groups of 3 with 1 phony. If attacked, koi A, B, and C will scatter, leaving behind the decoy.
That's pretty good.
A little bit elaborate for a dad joke, but good nonetheless.
So my ex-girlfriend told me she wants to get back together. A really lucky guy. I mean, first thing I did was win the lottery, and now this. Yep. That's all I got.
Gold digger and whore.
I mean, that's classic story about winning the lottery.
Like, that really is. A bunch of people come out of the woodwork. You have a lot of friends.
Yeah, a lot of friends, a lot of random family you didn't know you had. Uncle Joe down the street.
Right. Everybody be coming out of the woodwork for a little piece of that coin.
Yep. Listen, if I won the lottery, very, very few people would know.
They don't. If we play in Tennessee and they make you
You can wear a mask, I believe.
Okay.
I think your name still goes out there, but you can also change your name.
First thing we're doing is, because the loan's getting paid off in hours, we're going to go get a fucking paycheck loan, fucking pay for a name, go to the courthouse, pay for a name change.
Yeah.
Go pick up my money, wear a mask.
Well, you would have to get the money first because you would have to legally be the person, right?
I mean, as long as you got the ticket, it doesn't matter.
I
right?
guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
You know, people buy tickets for other people all the time. Like,
yeah, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking.
But
oh well,
man, like, we could do a whole episode on what I would do if I won the lottery.
Oh man,
I probably wouldn't. It'd probably be as low key as humanly possible,
mm-hmm.
but there would definitely be signs. Mainly because I'm car crazy.
Yeah,
like that would be the most dead giveaway. Like Zach pulls up in a Bugatti. Like, where'd you? I'll just trade it in for it. Payment's a little higher, but
I don't know about. That's the thing, though. Like,
it wouldn't be a Bugatti.
Well, any supercar, like the price, like the price of the supercar versus how much you would actually drive it, and roads that you could drive it on.
Man, I think you underestimate. I think cars are made to be driven. I'm driving the wheels off them. I
mean,
I might have one for every outfit, but like, as long as I'm driving it, like, I'm driving the fucking wheels off of it.
So you're winning the $1 billion lottery, is what you're telling me. You're not winning the.
Man, listen, I'm in a place. Fortunately enough, I can make all my problems go away with much less than $100,000.
Yeah.
If I win anything over 150 million. Probably one real big nice house and a bigger, nicer garage. And we're going car shopping. that's it. I mean, we were joking about this at the gym the other day. The amount of you could basically take, if you won 150 million, you could basically take 100 million and fuck off.
Yeah.
Buy your house, buy your cars, have a real fucking good time. Still have plenty of money left over for one really fucking wild week in Las Vegas, and drop 50 million in investments or. It could go into fucking IRAs. It could go fucking like small time shit. You ain't even got to gamble it and never have to worry about anything again.
Yeah. I mean, that's
like pretty much fuck you money at that point. Yeah. Like speeding tickets, fuck speeding tickets.
Right.
You got to catch me first.
Can I pay it now?
Yeah. Like,
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's real shit. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the first thing, I'm probably throwing my buddy Jesse, who owns Greening Auto, a whole bunch of money to build me something custom, an old hot rod. And that's probably going to be like the one, right? But then, yeah, I'm everything but Ferrari, I'm probably fucking with. I'm owning.
You don't like Ferrari?
Love them. Ferrari will ban you for customization. You will not be able to buy a new Ferrari if you change the paint color, if you modify it, anything like that.
Okay.
Ferrari thinks that their cars are perfect.
Well,
the way they come. So if you customize one, put a wrap on it, paint it, modify
the last
it,
one you'll own.
That's the last one you'll own, unless you buy used.
Right.
Yeah, they're extremely snooty about that. So, and
I don't know. I'll never own one.
Some rapper got banned because Ferrari is quoted as saying that he would never paint a car pink. And I forget what rapper it was. Went and bought one, wrapped it pink, immediately hit the ban list. Like
nope.
Can't do any business with them. Can't trade it in. Can't buy a new one. Nothing. Can't get it serviced there.
Damn.
Nothing. Like immediately hit the ban list.
That's rough. But hey, you know what?
Incredibly fucking stupid.
Break the rules. You knew the rules.
I mean, that's something I would absolutely go just to fuck off one time. If I had that kind of money, I would absolutely go buy their fucking best and send it to somewhere like Underground Racing or somewhere like that and just do just the most god-awful, atrocious amount of modifications to it you possibly could. I'd probably have the world's fastest and immediately hit the ban list, and I would probably publicly be like, fuck all y'all.
Right. like just start driving it around their
this is what it could have been. This wasn't what it was when I bought it, but this is what it could have been if y'all were as good as you thought you were. This is it. Peak performance right here. Also, I kind of question how comfortable I would really be in some supercars.
Yeah.
I'm a big man.
It'd be tough. I think you'd probably enjoy being in a truck more, honestly.
There's some trucks that are on my list, 100%. But yeah, the first thing I'm doing, though, frame off restoration, full resto mod, classic car of some type. Probably
classic?
Honestly, favorite car of all time is a 69 Boss 429. I would want modern drivetrain. That look, I wouldn't want it to be the 429 motor.
Right.
But, that look, best looking car of all time. And that would probably be the daily.
That's fair.
Yep. 100%. But I have a list of literally a million more cars that I would.
Shoot, I'm so boring, I guess, because I would be like, I'm
going to go buy a Honda Odyssey.
Oh, no.
To get a whole family in it.
No. It would be, I would want a comfortable SUV.
That's fair. You're thinking like Escalade or something like that? Something big?
It didn't have to be that big, but it could be. But just something that's comfortable and nice. And I don't even know what brands, to be honest with you. But I'd just look for something that looks comfortable and nice. SUV, a truck, and some sort of fun car. But it doesn't have to be a supercar either. Like,
I think I would definitely, there were supercars I would have, but the majority of the cars I'd have would be things that I just wanted to do terribly just illegal shit in. It's like, they would be purpose built for said terrible illegal shit. Like, 100%. Like,
you want a Cybertruck?
Fuck no. That is something I would buy to, just
Crash.
like the Ferrari, I would buy to disgrace it and like diesel swap it or something like.
That'd be funny.
It'd be from the most economical truck ever made to I'm going to create my own hole in the ozone. like immediately. Yeah. Somebody's already done that though. Like they already beat me to the punch on that. But like, yeah, it would be something just, I would commit so many like automotive sins, like just for the pure enjoyment of elitists getting mad.
It'd be funny.
There's nobody more elite than Corvette owners, and it's not even really. I mean, it's a low level, entry level supercar. But
like,
yeah,
I like Corvettes, but
yeah, Corvette owners would be like, "This is the only white one. It's one of one, built on my son's birthday, in this trim package and everything like that. It's the most rare Corvette in the world." Like,
okay,
it's a fucking Chevrolet.
right.
Like, cool, I guess. Like,
I mean, they're nice, but they're not. It's not the same.
Bang for your buck, incredibly well performing car. I'm like, I can't think of anything I wouldn't want to immediately send to the best shop in the world and just make it obnoxious right away. Like, there's not a single car that I would look at and say, I want this thing to be just like it came from factory.
Right.
Everything I drive would be some god awful abomination of what it was. So far away from what it was meant to be.
It's just,
yeah, the idea of having enough money to make purists upset is just, and the things I would do to JDM cars, Japanese cars, an old Supra, that's getting the most Americanized fucking, it's going to Proline. We're getting the biggest fucking cubic inch Hemi V8 they can put in it, and it's going to be a big root style blower. It's going to be the opposite of everything that car was meant to be. And I'm going to be like, guess what? Funny. It's bigger, badder, faster than anything Japanese has ever been made. And it's redneck as fuck.
That'd be pretty funny.
Eat shit. There's a guy that's done that too in drag racing, thank God. Yeah. We got a big twin turbocharged Hemi.
I feel like it'd have to be in drag because like,
the fastest GTR in the world's Hemi headed V8. The Skyline. Yeah, Pro Mod.
I believe it.
Those people are real bad elitists. They believe in that little twin turbo V6. Like, saying abominations.
Horsepower is horsepower.
Horsepower is horsepower, baby. That's the show. And we're going to take it too far if we keep talking about Zach's lottery winnings. I would die because of winning the lottery, more than likely. Probably die fast and hard and something really, really cool.
That would be sad.
I would probably get the Paul Walker treatment. 100%. Like,
damn.
May he rest in peace. Those movies are overrated, by the way.
They're pretty bad movies.
They're bad movies. All right.
First few are okay, but.
That's the show. Follow us on Instagram at Coleman_Barbell, at Nathan Skedios, at Sip and Rip It. Watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave comments, send us DMs, rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Don't be a hoe, share the show. Don't sue me. First form and 80 for Sella. That's it. Bye, y'all.